So you're supposed to understand this concept that if there is no pregnancy, then what will happen? If there is no pregnancy, then the endometrium is supposed to be shed, because there is no point of retaining the growth of the uterus. If you remember, I have told you before in the topic of the uterine tissue that the uterus has three types of layer in its wall: perimetrium, myometrium, endometrium. The endometrium is the glandular layer, and if you remember that notes and that page of NCERT which I made ask you to go through at home, that endometrium is the layer which is shed every month during the periods, and endometrium is the layer which will undergo a thick change, a great amount of change, and is responsible for maintaining pregnancy. When an embryo or when an implantation process starts, the whole process of embryo formation and placenta formation, everything requires endometrium. So the layer which you are able to see in this diagram is basically the thickness of the endometrium. You can see the thickness is decreasing here, and this meniscus means the fluid which comes out during the periods. Periods basically starts from the 3rd day and it can go up to the 5th day. So that means the menstrual phase or menstruation phase starts from the 1st day and it can last up to the 5th day, and after 5th day there is no more periods, or you can say there is no more flow, and now the repair or the proliferation means regrowth or growth again or repair. So initially what happened, because the level of the hormones is down, so there is breakdown of the endometrium. Endometrium is the innermost layer of the wall of the uterus. So as the endometrium starts coming out, it will come out along with the unsuccessful secondary oocyte. Please remember that, because the secondary oocyte is waiting in the female reproductive tract for the fertilization. So secondary oocyte arrested at metaphase second, along with the endometrium, along with the blood tissue, lots of things, mucus and all, everything will come out. Generally this flow is 75 to 100 ml in quantity, and as it comes out it will be causing everything to clear out nicely. So finally a minimum thickness of endometrium is left, so it comes down to minimum thickness. And now what will happen next is, why this all has happened, because the pituitarian hormones are lesser in concentration, their amount has come down. Now what happened next? As the amount of the FSH starts increasing, so the amount of FSH is increasing, as this level, the blue one, as this level starts increasing, this will cause the development of the follicle. If you remember, I told you in the notes just minutes back also, pituitarian hormone will cause a change in the ovary. So FSH, as the name suggests, FSH stands for follicle stimulating hormone. So hormone which comes out from pituitary and stimulate, that means motivate the follicles to start developing. Now we all remember primary follicle was the arrested stage. Now that developing follicle will start developing into secondary follicle, then tertiary follicle, and followed by Graafian follicle, which carries an antrum, a fluid filled cavity called as antrum. So the growth of the follicles is because of increase in the level of which hormone? FSH. Now as the follicles grow in size, their follicular cells, the surrounding cells, they remember the follicles carry a primary oocyte arrested at the prophase first up to this stage, say a tertiary stage. At tertiary stage only meiosis first is over, and again arrest at metaphase second. So the development of the follicle is under the influence of FSH. As follicles develop, they continue to secrete increasing amount of estrogen. As the level of the estrogen is increasing, estrogen is responsible for growth or repair of endometrium. So let me start once again. FSH level starts increasing from the 5th day. As from the 5th day, the level of FSH starts increasing. This increasing level of FSH causes the follicles to develop. As the follicles develop from the 6th day up to the 13th or the 14th day, they also release good amount of estrogen, and estrogen will have an effect in the endometrium of the uterus, and endometrium starts becoming again thick. That means growth is going on. I hope this much is clear. So now the menstrual phase lasts for 3rd to 5th day, 6th day onwards up to 13th day or up to the 14th day. The phase of the menstrual cycle is called as follicular phase. Now why is it called follicular phase? Because in this phase follicles are developing. And it is also called as proliferative phase. Reason, the endometrium or the uterine wall is undergoing proliferation.